We're your station. This is the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9.
A couple makes a shocking discovery at a Council Bluffs cemetery. Now police are looking for answers. Hi everybody, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Taylor Wilson.
And I'm Tracy Jason. Lab results show a human fetus was found in the Council Bluffs cemetery. Police were called to the scene on Saturday, but weren't sure what it was until today's autopsy. Fox 42's David DeJohn has more details.
It was along this road on the far end of Cedar Lawn Cemetery where the discovery was made. A couple taking a Saturday afternoon walk found a 17-week-old fetus.
One of them stood by while the other went to use the telephone and contacted the police department.
When they arrived on the scene, police found what looked like a human fetus, about the size of a hand.
We contacted the medical examiner's office, state medical examiner's office on Saturday night, and they told us how they wanted it packaged and transported for an autopsy at 10 this morning on Monday.
Autopsy results prove it was indeed a human fetus, a boy, and that it had been outside for about 2 weeks.
Management at Walnut Hill Cutler Cemetery says nothing like this has ever happened before, but that perhaps whoever placed the fetus here ultimately wanted it buried in babyland.
Reserved for infants, this section is also located far back in the cemetery.
I don't recall anything like this in several years here at the police department.
The next step for police is to find the mom. Local hospitals have already been contacted in case the mother was in need of medical attention.
Well, I don't know that we have anything to alert us that somebody is in danger here. If it's been outside for 14 days, possibly we're past the danger point.
With photographer Kyle Beneke, David DeJohn, KPTM Fox 42 News at 9.
Council Bluffs police say they need your help. If you know anything about the case, call the department. Those numbers right there on the bottom of your screen, 326-2509 or 328-STOP. Both of those numbers, 712 area codes. And there's new information about the Omaha police officer who was injured during a chase earlier this month. The Omaha World Herald says police reports show Officer Chad Simmons did not have his seatbelt on at the time of his accident on January 2nd. Now, Simmons was kept in a medical coma for days after that accident. He's out of the hospital now, but is still recovering from head and neck injuries. Omaha police say wearing seatbelts is standard operating procedure, and the accident is still being investigated.
An Omaha church is uniting against hate mail left at homes around the metro. The timing of tonight's forum was no mistake. As Fox 42's Amanda Muller reports, the Hanscom Park United Methodist Church is hoping to send a message to the group behind the mailings on the Martin Luther King holiday.
Packed pews full of people wanting to know why. This 16-page newspaper ended up in driveways around the city a few weeks ago.
I just couldn't read it all because I didn't like what I saw.
The racist literature is nothing new to Omaha. It comes from members of the National Alliance, a group that has delivered similar hate mail around the city in the past.
This shows who publishes it.
But Bob Wolfson of Omaha's Anti-Defamation League says his latest publication, called The Aryan Alternative, is louder.
Nicer color, better paper, they've gotten a little more sophisticated, and that's a concern for us.
Some might say bringing attention to the newspaper through forums like this one is just what the group is looking for. Well, Wolfson says that's true, but at the same time, it's important to teach people about extreme viewpoints.
Unless you acknowledge them, you can't see the very far extremes. That's important to know so that we can work our way back to the middle where common people are just trying to get along with each other.
So far, the group has only sent its message through writing. Wolfson just hopes that message doesn't turn violent.
And I hope that enough people can kind of speak out and reject this, that their fishing around for adherence won't work here.
And that's just what these folks say they're doing by packing the pews, sending their own message right back.
It's not something that needs to be brought out, that humanity and goodwill is what we need.
They're not going to get away with what they're saying and doing.
A move they say Martin Luther King Jr. would be proud of.
We need to lead the way. If that's the way it has to be, we shall do it.
With photographer Taylor Stein, Amanda Muller, KPTM Fox 42 News at 9.
Wilson says area law enforcement is watching the neo-Nazi groups targeting our area closely, and if you have concerns about the literature, you can find more information from the Anti-Defamation League by calling 402-333-1303 or log on to their website at adl.org.
Some of Nebraska's smallest schools are looking to join forces with those surrounding the state's largest district. Class 1 schools are hoping to work with Millard, Ralston, Elkhorn, and District 66 to stop forced school consolidation. A new state law forces the small schools to merge with larger schools, something the small schools say they could have in common with the Omaha area districts. At tonight's meeting, both groups discussed how to get the legislature to work against the planned mergers and stop future mergers. And meantime, you can watch our town hall meeting we held last week where various issues regarding consolidation were discussed and debated with the first panel of its kind on this topic and a crowd of over 1,000. Your children, your voice, our future. It'll air this Wednesday at 6 o'clock right here on Fox 42.
Today, people across the metro celebrated Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday. But some wonder if the gatherings are becoming routine and are asking if the holiday is what it should be. Fox 42's Joe Giles has more.
An early morning march to the state capitol. Just one way people chose to celebrate Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
I think it's our job as adults to make sure that children of this day and age remember what Martin Luther King's dream was and to make that dream a reality.
But some, like Pastor Bernard Johnson, say the holiday isn't celebrated as it should be.
This is considered a national holiday, but yet there were people still working today.
Nestled in North Omaha is this African-American bookstore, open with the goal of education. One person inside says people shouldn't just focus on King's famous I Have a Dream speech, but study his other ideals.
Dr. King progressively was focusing on the class structure, the financial structure, and how difficult that was keeping African-American people and our families from really being able to prosper.
Cook says African Americans should take the lead in getting that message out and placing a greater importance on the holiday itself.
There's enough of us that we could take the lead in changing the approach, and then I think others, Caucasians and others, they're going to follow our lead.
With photographer Jihad Wade, Joe Giles, KPTM Fox 42, News at 9.
The several people we talked with today say they're glad the holiday is celebrated at all and hope more people take the time to reflect on how Dr. King changed the fabric of our country.
Former President Gerald Ford is back in the hospital tonight. Doctors in California say Ford has been readmitted to a hospital there and is being treated for pneumonia. The 92-year-old was admitted over the weekend. He was also in the hospital just last month for unspecified tests. His office says Ford is doing well and resting comfortably.
A fire in north central Nebraska continues to burn tonight. Firefighters say they have about 70% of the fire contained, but it is still burning over about 9,600 acres. Fire crews say they were able to knock down some of the worst areas this morning, but also say they're still concerned the fire could spread since high winds are expected in the area. Officials think the fire might have been started by people. They want to talk to anyone who was in that area between 7 and 10 a.m. yesterday.
Well, we had some windy weather here as well.
We did, and hopefully it's not going to get any colder than we experienced today after the warm temperatures over the weekend. Here's Tyson in the Weather Center to tell us more.
Well, I'll tell you what, overall, still pretty windy outside with wind gusts right around 24 miles per hour in the metro, gusting at 35 miles per hour in Lincoln at this hour, and that makes for cold wind chill values. It feels like 16 degrees in Omaha, a current wind chill of 11 degrees in Harlan, with a current wind chill of 18 in Lincoln. Now, let's go ahead and focus on these snow showers that moved through earlier today. We'll stop things at about 1 o'clock this afternoon from Denison through Logan. Of course, right here in the metro, back towards Lincoln, a quick trace of pretty much moderate to heavy snow showers moving through, but those went through very quickly and have moved out of the area, and we're expecting clearing skies towards morning. And those winds should tend to die down a little bit as we start to make our way into tomorrow. So partly cloudy skies by 7 o'clock for the bus stop forecast, 25 degrees. Here's the good news. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast for tomorrow and a little bit warmer and not as windy. So a much better day as we start to make our way into Tuesday. 36 degrees by noon, 39 degrees by 5 o'clock. Mostly sunny skies at that time as well. There will be changes, though, in the forecast. First, good changes for midweek, and then potential for snow by the end of the week. Something we'll focus on the 7-day forecast coming up in a few minutes, guys.
All right, some good changes we'll take.
Good at first, at least.
We don't want the rest of it. Anyhow, the Friends of Cunningham Lake continue their fight to keep Rainwood Road open.
And they say the City Council compromise is not a solution. The group says it appreciates the City Council's willingness to hear their concerns, but they say the council compromise plan has serious faults. It says the idea to build an alternate road from the north side of Cunningham Lake to the east side could do more damage than good.
You would be going through some of the most undeveloped area of the lake, and that's some of the most beautiful area, and a road would destroy some of that. And also there's been no environmental impact statement done on.
And the City Council will talk about the future of Rainwood Road again on January 24th. Also tonight on the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9, we'll introduce you to a woman who has opened her home to children for almost 30 years and is making the Heartland proud.
How about the Blue Jays? Creighton is hanging tough. And speaking of tough, well, we'll hit the mats with a 3-time state champion. Watch this. And we'll hear what he thinks of losing. Coming up later.
Almost 40 years later, and an American great's presence is still felt strong. Celebrations from across the country coming up next.
Now is the time to zero in on a great lease at Old Mill Toyota. Lease the #1 selling car in America. A new 2006 Toyota Camry LE for just $279 a month. With 0 down, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. Hurry to Old Mill Toyota for a great 3-year, 36,000-mile lease on Camry LE for just $279 a month. With 0 down, 0 first payment, and 0 security deposit. Zero in on a great lease now through January 31st.
All we do is discount Toyotas at Old Mill every day.
You'll find more than 2,000 current home listings every month and more than 450,000 readers every day in the Omaha World Herald's marketplace, where more buyers and sellers meet. Start your house hunting with Friday's Home Guide and Sunday's Marketplace Homes.
Bellevue University really helped me accomplish what I wanted to do. The faculty was great. It was definitely a real-world experience for me.
Commencement to me means that I'm moving forward in the world and being all that I can be and proving myself to the world.
We're your station. This is the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9.
Looking for something hot to do this weekend? Then visit Ameristar for the $100,000 hot seat giveaway. We're giving away Canon digital camcorders and sharp 20-inch LCD TVs every 30 minutes, Saturdays and Sundays in January. Use your Star Awards card for slots, video poker, or table games, and let Ameristar put you in the hot seat. Only at Ameristar. More casino, more fun.
Restyled, reconfigured, reimagined. The Accord from Honda. Cut through the clutter. Lease an Accord for $239 a month with a total drive-off of $19.99 for well-qualified customers.
This portion of the News at 9 is brought to you by Nebraska Furniture Mart.
The final days of one of the biggest events of the new year are here. Hurry to Nebraska Furniture Mart and save with no down payment and no interest. Not this year, not next year. No interest for 24 months on everything in the store, $3.99 and up. And at the Mart, you're guaranteed the low price on furniture, flooring, appliances, and electronics. Like this Lane leather recliner for only $3.49. Shop the final days to save and get no interest till January 2008. Only at Nebraska Furniture Mart.
We recommit ourselves to working for the dream that Martin Luther King gave his life for. An America where the dignity of every person is respected, where people are judged not by the color of their skin, by the content of their character, and where the hope of a better tomorrow is in every neighborhood in this country.
President Bush, just one among millions of Americans remembering Dr. King.
Hundreds filled the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, where King preached from 1960 until he was murdered in 1968. He was remembered as a leader who went to jail 39 times working for freedom. Yesterday would have been King's 77th birthday. In Florida, thousands took to the streets of Tampa for the Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. The parade kicks off Tampa's celebration of Black Heritage Month and raises money for more than 20 different scholarships. And for the first time in years, Houston's King holiday was a day of unity. It was the first time in a decade that only one parade was held. For years, the city's Black Heritage Society and a parade foundation put on competing parades, but a court order brought the two groups together for this year's celebration.
Hundreds of Nebraskans joined the Freedom Ride in Lincoln today in honor of Martin Luther King. The day began as about 400 people took part in the annual youth rally. Then the march wound its way through Lincoln under the leadership of Governor Heinemann, finally ending at the state capitol.
Service to all was one of the messages Martin Luther King Jr. tried to instill in Americans through his speeches. The Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority came together to honor King's memory by serving those less fortunate. They shared King's story with those at the Open Door Mission.
Not only is it a chance to do service by serving lunch here, as well as presenting this program where we help educate our community about the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King.
A celebration for Martin Luther King Jr. drew a standing room only crowd at the University of Nebraska Medical Center. It featured keynote speaker Dr. Robert Jensen, an author who's written books about how to confront racism. Jensen says while progress has been made in stopping racism, King was looking for more than just racial equality.
It was about justice, and we have to also remember the radical nature of King's message, especially on the day that we honor him.
Jensen says King promoted economic equality and nonviolent protest against war.
Hundreds turned out to hear firsthand what it was like to march alongside Dr. King. John Slade was one of thousands to march with the historic civil rights leader as keynote speaker at UNL. Slade also spoke out about how he worries that the recognition of Dr. King is becoming, as he calls it, rather routine.
In my view, that would be a mistake. Dr. King's contribution to this nation continues to evolve because he did the seemingly impossible. He awakened the better angels of our nature and gave hope to millions.
Slade is also a part of history, helping found a historically black fraternity. He was one of 12 students at Morgan State University to found Iota Phi Theta fraternity.
Recognition for Dr. King all across Nebraska today.
All across the country.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, there were definitely a few flurries outside there this afternoon, but could any more snow be on the way? Tyson is coming up to let us know.
We don't want to hear it, but also tonight on the Fox 42 News at 9, could TV be rotting more than your brain? We'll explain in Your Health Matters.
And why are these protesters so upset with a little beer? We got the story next.
Hey, your hands here. Just waiting to wrap my fingers around these runs of burgers. Those are handmade, my friend, from never-frozen ground beef, then hand-assembled with fresh toppings. Like the Swiss cheese mushroom burger. That baby's got tangy Swiss cheese and a pile of sautéed mushrooms. Now that I can handle.
Runza's Swiss cheese mushroom burger. Try one today. At Runza, the difference is real.
Come on, Arms. A little help here.
If you see news happen, call the KPTM Fox 42 News team at 554-4282.
Iowa farmers are the top corn producers in the country. Iowa Corn Promotion Board says Iowa farmers grew 20% of this year's U.S. corn crop. The crop was just behind last year's record output. It's the 12th straight year Iowa has been the top state in the U.S. And the Garden State can now also be called another smoke-free state. The New Jersey governor signed the Smoke-Free Air Act this Sunday. It goes into effect April 15th, banning smoking in most public places, including bars, restaurants, nightclubs, and bowling alleys. But the state's famous Atlantic City casinos are exempt. Fines for breaking the law between $250 and $1,000. The oil market is watching Nigeria, where Royal Dutch Shell says it might pull all of its workers. The possible move comes after 4 attacks on oil facilities in 5 days. Shell is the largest oil producer in Nigeria. The pullout could drive up worldwide prices and hurt the Nigerian economy. And the addition of a beer company to the National Stock Exchange causes a big brouhaha in Thailand. Thousands of protesters rallied against the decision to add the country's largest alcohol maker, Thai Beverage. Hundreds of Buddhist monks joined the protest, warning the move will further corrupt the younger generation.
Encouraging developments in the battle against cancer. New technology will soon make one type of leukemia nearly 90% curable. New treatments for acute lymphoblastic leukemia, or ALL, will allow physicians to quickly identify children who aren't responding to a certain type of treatment, allowing them to make changes before it's too late. Doctors say there are also some promising new drugs out there that could help cure ALL. And here's one parents should listen to. Doctors have also found eating junk food might affect your mental health. A lack of amino acids, from which neurotransmitters in the brain are actually made, can lead to feelings of depression and apathy. But diets with enough complex carbohydrates, essential fats, amino acids, vitamins, and minerals and water have been shown to promote balanced moods and feelings of well-being. And grape juice, well, this one's good for you. South Korean researchers have found that grape juice can actually help lower blood pressure. A substance in grape skin helps dilate blood vessels, which leads to the reduction in pressure. Red and purple skin grapes contain the highest concentrations of the substance. And believe it or not, a refreshing, sugary soft drink can actually refresh your memory. A team of Scottish psychologists found that a single sugary drink improved memory retention in volunteers by up to 17%. Now, using brain imaging techniques, researchers also revealed high levels of activity and memory areas of the brain shortly after subjects drank the sugary liquids. Well, there you go. I won't feel so guilty next time I pound a Coke.
Every time you have the Pepsi on the set, it's good for you. You've got an excuse.
Sometimes it is.
Yeah.
And here's a question for you. Could the secret to a happy marriage be leaving the TV in the TV room?
Well, some doctors are saying so. I'm not sure what their credentials are, but that's what they're saying. A study by an Italian sexologist found that couples with a television in their bedroom have sex half as often as those who don't. In the study, those without a TV in their bedroom have sex twice a week compared to once a week for those with one. And for people 50 and above, the average fell from 7 times a month to 1.5 times a month. The study also found that what you watch might also have an effect on your love life. Violent films put half of the couples out of the mood, while reality TV kills it for 1/3.
So I guess the obvious question, do you have a TV in your bedroom? You don't have to answer.
No, no comment, obviously. I want to know what the testing methods. How do you do those tests?
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that either, you know?
How do you be a sexologist? How does that play into things?
So many questions, so few answers. Why don't we just toss it over to Tyson right now? He can tell us about the weather. It's a little safer.
Yeah, that's what I do best, talking about the weather. Let's just get you right into the almanac pages. I'll tell you what, temperature-wise, pretty chilly today. We topped out at 49, but that was at 212 this morning. Otherwise, temperatures were in the 30s throughout the afternoon with windy conditions, 31 and 11. That's where we should be for this time of year, and we did see a trace of snow earlier today throughout the afternoon hours. We'll talk about a few changes in our forecast and our next chance for snow coming up in about 2.5 minutes.
This time of year, everyone wants to lose weight. Subway restaurants can help. With their new Fresh Resolutions Instant Win Game, you can win thousands of great prizes, like an all-inclusive Beaches Family Resorts vacation for 4. The more you come in, the more chances you have to win. And with 8 delicious subs with 6 grams of fat or less, what have you got to lose? Bye-bye, burgers.
Okay, better news for tomorrow with temperatures climbing back into the upper 30s throughout the afternoon. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast also. 36 degrees by 12 o'clock. Mostly sunny skies. 39 degrees by 5. Sunny conditions, not the case earlier today. In fact, flurries were in the area with windy conditions as we take a look at video throughout the afternoon. There they are, flurries right there with some wet streaks throughout the 1 to 2 o'clock hour. And then those quickly moved on out. Temperatures right around the 32 degree mark throughout the 1 and 2 o'clock hour today. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now. 29 degrees in the metro, 30 in Columbus, 32 degrees in Lincoln. However, we take a look at the current wind chill values and it feels cold out there. It feels like 16 degrees in the metro, feels like 18 in Columbus with the current wind chill values right around 11 in Harlan and 16 in Atlantic. Now, highs today, this was throughout the early afternoon. Temperatures really plummeted throughout the daytime hours. 37 in the metro, again 49 at about 2:12 this morning. 36 in Harlan, 38 degrees in Atlantic with upper 30s west of here. Now, clouds will continue to be on the decrease overnight tonight. There's that initial band of snow that we saw move through earlier today. And these clouds are going to exit the region through the overnight hours. Winds should die down as well. And you take that combination and our temperatures should tend to drop a little bit, mainly lower to mid 20s from eastern Nebraska into western Iowa with colder air even further west of that. So as we look across the nation, fortunately some good news for areas like eastern Oklahoma, eastern Texas, even as we start to make our way into southern portions of Arkansas. Some much needed rain. At the same time, though, unfortunately, thunderstorm activity bringing lightning to very dry areas. But across the central part of the nation, pretty quiet. And that's still the same case here. Again, those clouds continuing to stick with us throughout eastern Nebraska. But overall, you can see that line of snow and rain from earlier today has dissipated. And we're going to stick with decent conditions overnight tonight. So here's the clouds moving out as we continue through the 10 o'clock hour tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine throughout eastern Nebraska, western Iowa. Very nice day tomorrow, not as windy. Temperatures still above normal, and clear conditions stay with us throughout eastern Nebraska by tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. But notice as we continue into Wednesday morning, a few clouds start to move into the region. That's going to make way for partly cloudy skies as we continue into Wednesday afternoon right here in Omaha. So decreasing clouds for tonight. An overnight low of 24 degrees. Winds will be from the northwest at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. And then tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, not incredibly warm, but still a good 9 degrees above average for this time of year, 40 for a daytime high. And then on Wednesday, upper 40s, really nice once again, partly cloudy skies with winds from the southwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So temperatures are beautiful all the way through Wednesday into Thursday, 48 on Thursday, but there is a chance for snow. As we go into Friday, temperatures dip back into the mid-30s. About a 50% chance as of right now. Could see some accumulating snow here in the metro. And then we tend to cool off a little bit for the first half of the weekend. So windy and cold today, a better day tomorrow, and it gets better as we continue into midweek.
All right, nice to see that sun popping out again.
Finally, a little more sun. After a great weekend,
snow,
62 on Sunday.
Absolutely fabulous.
Great. That's good news.
It was.
Thanks,
all right.
Tyson.
Well, President Bush's nomination for the Supreme Court is up for a vote. We'll tell you how one Nebraska senator is leaning.
Also tonight on the Fox 42 News at 9, severe weather in Pakistan makes a bad situation worse. Headlines covering the world just ahead. You can get Amber Alerts and other breaking news delivered to your mobile phone from KPTM Fox 42. Sign up at kptm.com.
Dodge Ram with available MDS that turns our powerful Hemi V8 into a fuel-saving 4-cylinder at cruising speeds. Plus 4x4 off-road traction give you incredible capability.
One of these days we're going to have to actually use those things. Whatever.
Winter is so much more fun when you have the proper equipment. For the first time ever, get $1,000 overstock bonus cash and grab a Ram 1500 for under 18 grand.
This is the year to shape up your home internet service. If you're a dial-up user, break the habit of a slow connection. Get Cox high-speed internet with the fastest internet download in Omaha. If you're considering DSL, get the real facts before you choose. With Cox high-speed internet, you get the same level of high-quality performance no matter where you live. Get the newest technology. Order Cox high-speed internet. Ask how you can save up to 25% every month for 3 months. Call 504-6940.
We're your station. This is the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9. We're your station. This is the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9.
The Senate will soon vote on whether to confirm Judge Samuel Alito as the next Supreme Court justice.
And one Nebraska senator is speaking out about his chances. Ben Nelson met Alito and says the judge seems committed to being a judge and not a legislator. Although Nelson would not say how he will vote, he seems impressed with Alito.
I found him to be very straightforward, very candid, and at the same time, I didn't find anything there that would cause me not to support him.
Without a filibuster, a confirmation vote is expected next Tuesday. So far, Democratic leaders say a filibuster is unlikely.
2 U.S. military helicopter pilots are dead tonight after their helicopter crashed north of Baghdad. The story's first tonight in our headlines covering the world. Witnesses say they saw the chopper go down after taking missile fire. This is the second U.S. chopper crash in Iraq in the last 3 days. Iraq insurgency group is claiming responsibility for the incident. A statement on its website has not yet been confirmed. A fire in a Russian office building turns deadly as flames forced workers to jump out the windows. Hundreds of people were evacuated from the 9-story bank building. Officials say some stairwells were blocked by gates. At least 9 people are dead, 15 injured. The cause of that fire is under investigation. Heavy rain, snow, and landslides exacerbate conditions for Pakistan's earthquake survivors. For the second day in a row, the severe weather prevented UN workers from delivering supplies to victims of the October quake. Hundreds of thousands of survivors there are dependent on aid groups for food and shelter. Relief workers fear the region's harsh winter will intensify hunger and misery and add to the quake's death toll.
The standoff continues in Georgia, where a man and woman are holding their lawyer hostage. This story is first tonight in our headlines covering America. Police say legal issues may have led the couple to take 3 people hostage at a law office. 2 were released unharmed earlier today, but the suspects are still inside, holding their lawyer hostage with an explosive device. Police are still trying to negotiate. In California, crews are cleaning up after 2 million gallons of raw sewage comes ashore after a pumping station breakdown. Crews used bulldozers to build sand barriers to try to keep the sewage from reaching the water, but most were unsuccessful, and several beaches are now closed. And a New York man is finally free after being buried up to his waist in dirt. The construction worker became trapped when the trench of the house his construction crew was working on collapsed on him. More than 24 people worked to finally get him free. And after 5 decades, a gold ring is back in the hands of the rightful owner. A deep-sea diver made the spectacular find in a New York lake. The class ring discovered was engraved with initials RAW, which led the diver to Ron Wachowski. Ron says he lost the special ring in Lake Erie back in 1958. First Lady Laura Bush and Condoleezza Rice were in Africa, but they were not the ones with the top position.
They were on hand to watch the continent's first elected woman president get sworn in. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf officially took office as Liberia's new president today. She was backed by a strong show of U.S. support, including 2 offshore warships there to keep the peace. The new president promises to fight the country's recent violence and corruption.
And in Chile, the country's first elected woman president gets set to take office. Michelle Bachelet was elected yesterday. Despite being a socialist, she promises to work with the United States. The 54-year-old is the 3rd woman elected to office in Latin America, but the first not to follow a politically powerful husband into power. Well, you think you got a lot of children? We'll introduce you to one special lady who is taking care of more than 200 kids. Her story is next.
It starts tomorrow, but we've got a preview what to expect from this year's batch of Idol hopefuls and the hopeless.
This is the year to shape up with Cox Communications. Shed those extra dollars from your home phone service. Break the habit of slow internet dial-up. Take control of how you watch television. With the Cox Total Home Package, get the most advanced digital cable service, the fastest internet download, and the most affordable home phone rate. Order now and save up to $120 over 3 months. Call 504-6940.
Put the Vita in, leave the cheddar out, mix the salsa in, pop it in and pull it out. Use lumpy, oily cheddar, who knows what may come out? With Velveeta, there's no doubt. Put Velveeta in, leave the cheddar out, mix the salsa in, pop it in and pull it out. Now you've got a tasty salsa dip that's really gonna make them shout. Velveeta! Forget the cheddar, Velveeta's better. That's what it's all about.
Velveeta!
We're your station. This is the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9. There are youth in our town who need 1 hour of your time. Teammates is a mentoring program that's making a difference in the lives of young people in our area. And it takes just an hour a week to get with the program.
It does not take very much of your time. It is time well spent with young people. It is important for young people to have hope, and adults are able to give young people hope. Mentoring makes a difference in a child's life.
For more news online, log on to kptm.com.
You know, for most parents, handling 1 or 2 kids can often be a challenge. But over the years, one Omaha woman has been a mother to more than 200, a foster mom for more than a quarter of a century. And tonight, my Gloria Leiferman is making the Heartland proud. Today, at the age of 70, she is now past the 200 mark.
This one is 203.
Her career as a pediatric nurse fueled her love for babies, a love she shared with her father, who died just a few years ago at the age of 98.
When he was 90, he would still get down on the floor and whistle at my babies. He loved babies.
Love may not be a strong enough word for Gloria. She is rarely without a baby on her arm. We can't show you the face of the one she has now. The sound of a baby's cry wasn't a home she wanted to live in.
I just felt I need a baby in my arms now that I'm alone more than ever.
Gloria has taken in kids as young as 17 hours old, kept some as long as 2 years, had twins and triplets, given them love, a well-equipped nursery with everything a baby could need. Gloria says when you get right down to it, the babies are giving her something too.
Oh, I get way more back from my babies than they get than I give to them.
Gloria and her husband also had 6 kids of their own. One daughter is a foster mom and a son a pediatrician. She says there is a slight difference, though, in how she raised both groups.
I didn't believe in pacifiers. All 6 of my kids were thumb suckers. And now I love pacifiers. They are wonderful.
Other than the 6 photo albums and 5 journals she's kept on her foster kids, Gloria also has 2 volumes of 100 original paintings commemorating the first 100, given to her 15 years ago by an architect in her husband's firm. Of course, she has now more than doubled that number and sees even more bundles of joy in her future.
Oh, sweetie. Yeah. Hey. Hi. I'm going to keep doing it. On the road.
Gloria Leiferman, one more person making the Heartland proud. And Gloria says the need for foster parents today is much greater than it was when she started because of the meth epidemic. She's also about to be honored by Epsilon Sigma Alpha International with the Distinguished International Academy of Noble Achievement Award. And if you know of someone making the Heartland proud, just give me a call at 554-4282 or email me at twilson@kptm.com.
We're just hours away from the 5th season of American Idol. But does that mean Judge Simon Cowell is mellowing with age? Fox's Anita Vogel gets the lowdown from the brash Brit himself.
Murdered, one of the most beautiful songs of all time.
They call him mean, cruel, and brutal. He says he's just brutally honest.
If I'm being honest, you are more Jerry Springer show than American Idol.
As American Idol launches into its 5th season, Judge Simon Cowell says he has no plans to change.
Dear, oh dear. Nancy, what a horrible, horrible voice. And what can you possibly say, or a different way of saying things, you know, so you don't repeat yourself? And then I think, well, because it's a reality show, there's no pressure. You can just walk in there, and you haven't got to think about anything, and you can react to the moment.
In the first few weeks, America will be treated to a wide range of talent, getting the usual dose of Randy, Paula, and Simon on their way to Hollywood.
I know it sounds rude, but I almost need to hear you singing with my eyes shut.
And if it's true everybody's a critic, Simon isn't just anybody. Over the last 15 years as a record executive, Simon has discovered hundreds of acts, selling more than 100 million albums worldwide. So spotting talent is literally his job.
It's a part to plead, baby, baby.
You can normally tell from the auditions. You know, you see so many people on the road, so that when somebody really good comes in, you go, yeah, that person's standing out. Only on this show can an undertaker or a funeral director sing You Raise Me Up.
And in the end, most contestants praise Simon for his candor. It may be hard for the singers to hear, but it's music to the ears of the viewers nationwide.
Another concert about girl.
We can. There's some unbelievably bad people this year. I mean, seriously, seriously bad. And you always think, okay, this year there won't be so many bad people. But I don't know what happened this year.
Remember my name, fame.
Well, now I know why it says you love to make people cry with your music.
In Hollywood, Anita Vogel, Fox News.
Oh. The bad ones are sometimes the best part.
Yeah, I was just
I think a lot of people watch for that.
I think you're right.
Gosh. But he is brutally honest.
Yes,
You know, this is the big time. This isn't small potatoes. This is the big time.
Why do I feel like if American Idol had existed back in your heyday, that you may have given it a go?
We all like to sing in the shower, and we all like to think we can sing, but when push comes to shove, when it's down to the wire in front of a guy like him, I'd probably choke.
Oh, you got a good voice.
No, I don't think so.
No.
I think you would do better than any of those
but
people
it's
we saw.
not big time. See, that's big time.
Okay, I'll tell you what. If you want to hear him sing on the set one day, you email me and let me know. If we get more than 20, we may do it.
I spent a year in Hollywood pursuing the acting career. That's big time. Trust me. I know
hear
this stuff.
Give us the sports. We're going to get you off the spot here.
All right.
Go on, move on.
Okay, here we go. You know, it's funny. One coach admits he's on the hot seat at Mizzou, and the other, well, he just lost a no-no at the Cathedral of College Basketball. But what a game tonight. Thomas Gardner, the Gardner, hits it to tie the game. But now Kansas and Christian Moody, 0.4 seconds left to win it. Oh, my goodness, how did he miss? The bench says it all. Quinn Snyder, we got another life. Into overtime, Darnell Jackson, hot potato, who's got it? The Jayhawks go up. However, the Tigers right back. Gardner to Marshall Brown with authority, and the face says it all. KU one last shot. Forget about it. Mizzou wins 89-86. Big 12 basketball shifting into high gear. Then there's the Blue Jays playing well, winning on the road. How about some B-ball ×2 from B-Town? And Matt Vacani from Papio. Hey, what did he learn about himself after that loss? Hey, don't look now, but the Blue Jays, Johnny Mathis sticks it are hanging tough. Jeff Ratcliffe at practice this afternoon. But first, some scores.
You've been practicing for this your entire life. The Chrysler Town & Country with Stow & Go seating and storage.
For the first time ever, get $1,000 overstock bonus cash and grab a Town & Country for around $22,000.
Omaha Exarban Night, scene one, take one.
This is J.J. Davis with Jeff Ratcliffe for the Omaha Exarban. What's my line?
Scene one, take two.
This is J.J. Davis with Jeff Ratcliffe for the Omaha Exarban. Give me the script.
Scene one, take three.
This is J.J. Davis with Jeff Ratcliffe to talk about the excitement of the Omaha Exarban Knights. Come on down to the Civic and check out the best hockey in Omaha. J.J. Davis with Jeff Ratcliffe, the Omaha Exarban Knights.
We're your station. This is the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9.
Good for your abs. Good for your arms. Good for your legs. Good for you.
Come experience Mick Doyle's Kickboxing Gym. A fully functioning gym unlike anything you've seen before, with fitness kickboxing classes and youth programs. And if you're serious about getting into shape, try a power hour with our personal trainers that will get you into shape and keep you there. Learn more by visiting mickdoyle.com.
Now, what's your excuse? Do you want action? And that's why everybody wants a piece of the action. Everybody needs a main attraction. I got what everybody needs. Satisfaction guarantees that everybody wants a piece of the action.
Sure, the knee
Nissan Altima is attractive, but we just turned up the heat. Introducing the 2006 Nissan Altima Special Edition Package. 15 of our most popular options. With package savings and cash back, save $2,200. $2,200. Did it just get hot in here?
KPTM Fox 42 Sports with J.J. Davis has been recognized by the Associated Press as the best sportscast in Nebraska.
Now, yesterday's game was over in the first half. Creighton here, transition basketball, just stepped on their throats, as Anthony Tolliver put it, and never let the Sycamores up. It's good to see, great to see. Hey, Jeff Radcliffe saw the Jays back at practice this afternoon.
Fresh off that rout in Terre Haute, the Blue Jays are surging, both in the standings and in confidence.
You know, I think it's all tied back to execution and not turning it over. But I think that they're a more confident group than they were in December, even after a couple losses early in January.
And the Blue Jays have slammed their last 4 opponents. In fact, they've won 8 of their last 11. And go figure, those 8 have come without Nate Funk on the floor. But that's just a coincidence, right?
Obviously, with Nate, we're a better team. Just so happened that the 2 games that he came back, we happened to lose after winning 4, and now we done won 4 over. So, no, I think it's just a coincidence.
I mean, I think we just come out with more focus, and we have more to prove, I think, whenever he's not in the lineup. I think that everybody just focuses that much more. Whenever he came back, I think everybody just kind of, you know, let down a little bit. You know, it's like, oh, he'll score 20, so we'll be all right, you know. So, and I just think that since he's been out, I think everybody can just really focus on, you know, their role for this team, and so we can get the job done.
Maybe there's a little bit more focus, you know, without Nate, because the team was really dependent, you know, on Nate for so many things, and they just kind of looked and said, well, Nate can do that, Nate can do that, and without Nate, I think maybe they become a little bit more responsible and a little more focused, because they know they got to do more.
Last time the Jays played Bradley, Nate was in the game, but the Jays did less, losing to the Braves. The rematch is Wednesday night at Quest Center. In Omaha, Jeff Radcliffe, KPTM Fox 42 Sports.
Thanks, Jeff. Next in high school basketball. And you know, it's always nice to get to Boys Town. That old gym, I think, it's got some pretty cool vibes. Hey, first of 2 at the annual B-Town tournament. Brandon Mock inside. And this one was all Wahoo Newman. How about again? Just sticks that one. Hey, the Jackets kind of scratching their heads. All right, Sean Johnson steps up and drills it, but this game, for the most part, kind of ho-hum. As the Cavs here just blew by TJ, 72-33. Then there was the nightcap. The home team Cowboys just kind of strolled out to take on Nebraska City. And check this out. Vince Marshall with the little dipsy-do, little off balance, and somehow it goes in. That Dwayne Wright just flies on in. Actually jumped out 11-0. And the Pioneers, come on, man, let's make a game of it. All right. Neb City crashes the boards. Aaron Bush somehow grabs it and puts it right back up and in, and Powerade. Yeah! Brace yourselves. Vince Marshall stuffed in 21. It was all B-Town 61-46. Hey, the Cowboys are forced to be reckoned with, perhaps, in that state tournament this year. Turning to wrestling. You know, Matt Buchanan here was on track to be a 4-time undefeated state champ. And then, after 113 straight wins, he lost to Ralston's Nate Koenig 2 weekends ago. Now, wrestling at 140, Matt won his 4th straight Metro title this past weekend. Of course, it all started right there with that pin on Friday, just 57 seconds. But in that loss recently, however, what did Buchanan learn about himself?
That I'm a pretty self-motivated person. After that loss, I've been doing some really extreme things to get myself to where I think I need to be.
How bad you hate losing?
I can't stand it. It's something that I'm not going to get accustomed to. I won't ever get accustomed to losing.
What separates him from everybody else?
Well, he has tremendous physical abilities, great gifts, agility. His strength to body weight is very good. And again, just that mental edge.
I like to think that I'm real intense and I'm always attacking. I never give a slow moment. And I think it's real interesting to watch me wrestle just because I'm always attacking. And I feel that my matches are never boring.
All said and done, what will be remembered, thought of?
Just as a hard worker and a good wrestler and a good person. So, I mean, that's pretty much all I can ask for.
Remember this move from the state final a year ago? Look for this monarch to challenge for the throne once again. Look at that. 4 years, 4 titles from Matt McKinney. Hey, not too many have done it. And finally, to our Fox 42 fans of the day. Of course, I was hanging out at B-Town tonight, and there they are. That's the JV team. The Pioneers, JV team, yeah, that's right. How often does the JV team get some pub? So Nebraska City's junior varsity basketball team on hand to cheer on the big guys tonight. Yeah, our Fox 42 fans of the day. And I do believe I've got a couple of more fans coming up after the break.
Some area residents face the frigid winter conditions without a coat or any other protection, but you can lend a hand. Hi, I'm Taylor Wilson.
And I'm Tracy Jason. KPTM Fox 42 and the Salvation Army invite you to donate your new or nearly new coats or other winter essential wear to these participating sponsors.
Show you care by taking part in the 4th annual Winter Warm-Up.
Get your new Toyota from Nebraska's #1 volume Toyota dealer, Performance Toyota of Lincoln. Get these incredible January deals. America's #1 selling car, the new 2006 Toyota Camry LE, only $199 a month. The new 2006 Toyota Tundra V6, just $119 a month. For selection, fuel economy, and resale, it's Nebraska's #1 volume Toyota dealer.
Performance, driven to be the best.
Performance Toyota, just off I-80 and North 27th Street, Lincoln.
America's love affair with cars never ends. Rekindle your passion at the Midlands International Auto Show. The hottest new cars, trucks, SUVs, concept vehicles, classics, street rods are all there. And have a chance to win a Pontiac Solstice or Torrent in the Make-A-Wish Foundation raffle. See them on Green's Custom Rides. A full-scale Dodge Charger completely assembled on site. The Snap-on Tool Bike from American Chopper. And tons more. The Midlands International Auto Show. January 26th through January 29th at the Quest Center. America's love affair for cars is alive and well.
We're your station. This is the KPTM Fox 42 News at 9.
Good for your abs. Good for your arms. Good for your legs. Good for you.
Come experience Mick Doyle's Kickboxing Gym. A fully functioning gym unlike anything you've seen before, with fitness kickboxing classes and youth programs. And if you're serious about getting into shape, try a power hour with our personal trainers that will get you into shape and keep you there. Learn more by visiting mickdoyle.com.
Now, what's your excuse?
There are youth in our town who need 1 hour of your time. Teammates is a mentoring program that's making a difference in the lives of young people in our area. And it takes just an hour a week to get with the program.
It does not take very much of your time. It is time well spent with young people. It is important for young people to have hope, and adults are able to give young people hope. Mentoring makes a difference in a child's life.
If you are one of the millions of Americans resolving to lose weight this year, this one may not be for you. But for you sweet tooths, check out this colossal cake. The world's largest ice cream cake is nearly 16 feet long, almost 10 feet wide. A team of 20 worked for nearly 20 days and literally used buckets of buttercream to cover 8 tons of cake and ice cream, all while standing in a freezer. Though some got a sample, this dessert is being saved to slice into 32,000 pieces at a children's play next week.
Looks yummy.
Yummy.
I'd like a diving board right next to it.
Right into it.
Boom, backflip into that. Ooh, that'd be good. 40 degrees for tomorrow. Temperatures get even warmer as we go into Wednesday and Thursday, and then snow enters the forecast as we approach the end of the week. So nice through midweek, and then it looks like more winter-like weather to close things out.
All right,
Thanks,
what can we do?
That's it for tonight's Fox 42 News at 9.
Have a great night. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Know what to do anymore.
Consult Malcolm in the Middle.
There's something seriously wrong with this family.
This message brought to you by the American Malcolm Institute Foundation Association.